Welcome back to another show where we deep dive into immigration topics, and I have again with me Yulia Khan, a team lead at Sobirovs law firm. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Today we are deep diving into GTS LMIA, Global Talent Stream LMIA. So if you want to check out our previous videos, the links are in the description. Make sure you watch them too. So welcome again, and I want to start with, what is GTS?
GTS stands for Global Talent Stream. It's a category of LMIA applications. GTS was launched in 2017, so it's fairly new in comparison to the other LMIA streams that exist. And the whole purpose of GTS is to provide Canadian employers with skilled foreign talent, but with faster processing time.
What's the main difference between Global Talent Stream LMIA as opposed to regular LMIA?
Global Talent Stream does not require Canadian employers to advertise for the position for 4 weeks, because the intention is that, oh, these occupations are already in demand. We already know that. Whereas for normal LMIA, you have to advertise for 4 weeks, right? So that's the first big difference. The second difference is the processing time. Global Talent Stream gets processed within 2 to 3 weeks, whereas regular LMIA gets processed within 2 to 3 months. So that's a considerable time that the Canadian employers can actually save in terms of processing. And then I would say there's also, within Global Talent Stream, there is 2 separate categories as well, which doesn't really apply in regular LMIA, because regular LMIA goes like high wage LMIA, low wage LMIA, agricultural. But within Global Talent Stream, you also have these 2 categories that kind of branch out from its umbrella, Category A and Category B. Category B is the one that everybody knows. It's the one where ESDC gives you a list of occupations, and they say, if you are looking for a foreign worker in one of these positions, you are eligible to apply for Global Talent Stream. Whereas Category A is a little bit more specific. It says that your company needs to be innovative. If you're hiring someone with very specialized skill, and that someone is a very specialized professional, then you can sponsor an individual pretty much in any single occupation that exists in the National Occupation Classification Code.
Now let's talk about Category A as opposed to Category B. How many workers you can hire on the Category A versus B? Is there any limitations? What are Category A occupations?
So the company has to be innovative. The foreign worker as well, he needs to have specialized education that matches the industry of that company. And he or she also needs to have matching work experience of over 5 years. So to give an example, one of our clients right now is hiring an aerospace engineer. So aerospace engineer is already a very niche profession, but this engineer in particular, he has not only the technical skills, but he also has managerial skills, he also has business development skills. So combination of all of those skills combined just makes him a very highly specialized professional in his field, and that's what made him and his employer eligible under Category A, because as a whole they are going to just foster innovation in Canada for the Canadian company.
There are certain designated referral partners who can refer the Category A worker that you want to hire as a Canadian employer. Who are those referral partners? What's their function in this whole scheme of GTS LMIA?
So whenever we want to utilize Category A, you would go to the referral partner. Maybe you already have an established partnership with them, or maybe you're brand new, so you would call them, you would contact them and tell them, hey, I'm looking to sponsor a company through Category A, what do you need? And usually what they say is, okay, we need to set up a meeting with this company just to understand what is it that they're doing, what kind of service they are providing, and what kind of person they want to hire, because they basically pre-vet the company and the foreign worker before the company is able to proceed forward with the application. Yes, and in terms of the organizations, most of them, they are associated with the industry. Like, for example, they're associated with the tech industry. They're associated with, aerospace engineering industry. So they would be the companies that have some kind of advisory, have some kind of, I don't want to say influence, but they have some kind of preliminary knowledge.
They are stakeholders. In the whole process. What are the main benefits of using GTS LMIA as a pathway to bring foreign talent compared to other traditional ways of bringing foreign talent?
I would say one of the biggest benefits is the processing time. The Global Talent Stream LMIA takes about 2 to 3 weeks to process from beginning until when you submit an application until you get the final decision. Also, there's a benefit to the foreign workers as well, because work permits that are submitted with the Global Talent Stream, LMIA, are eligible for 2 weeks processing under Global Skills Strategy. Now, I need to add a disclaimer that the 2-week processing time was very spot on before COVID hit, and then obviously COVID hit, everything was disrupted. So nowadays, after COVID, we are seeing inconsistencies. Some countries would still honor the 2-week processing times, but some countries do not.
It's a typical LMIA that doesn't require employers to advertise for a certain amount of time. All you need to do is to come up with labor market benefit plan. What is labor market benefit plan?
Let's say like I'm an employer and I'm hiring a foreign worker. Let's say I'm hiring you. Because I'm hiring you and you're not a Canadian, I need to commit to certain benefits that I will implement on the Canadian labor market, which is my own company, my own employees, because I'm hiring you. So I need to commit to 3 activities, and usually those 3 activities are something that will facilitate knowledge transfer. So for example, I will say that you will be hosting webinars for my team and teaching them, let's say, I don't know, how to successfully launch a podcast. Let's say that's what I hired you for. So because you have this knowledge and my team doesn't, because I hired you for this, you will be facilitating these webinars and they will train from you. So that would be like one of those things. So I will need to commit to 3. Another one of them would be, for example, I commit to hiring more people for my team, because then the bigger my company grows, like the macroeconomics of wherever I am. And one of the third benefit that I saw could be that you are going to commit to improve diversity in your workplace. Like for example, if my workplace was like 90% men, 10% women, then I will commit to kind of evening out a little bit more and focus on hiring more women into the workplace. So with that regard, I think that LMBP can be very beneficial to the Canadian employer, because through these activities, you never know what kind of person you're going to hire through these activities that you commit to, and then you really don't know how it's going to skyrocket your business later on.
Can you tell us more about the GTS LMIA Category A salary and Category B salaries?
So for both categories, you do want to go with the median wage that is associated with the NOC code. Within Category B, there is, we call NOC 0, NOC A, or NOC B, which is your managerial, your intermediate, and your intermediate level jobs. And for those positions, you definitely go for the median wage, which can go anywhere between usually $40 to $60 range. But then for Category A, because it gives you more flexibility into what NOC code, what occupation you want to use, it can be very, very flexible. So for example, if you want to hire someone, as we said, in an executive level position, NOC 00, usually their salaries are a little bit higher, right? In comparison to, let's say, your NOC A position. So ultimately, you will be looking at anywhere between like 85,000 to about 130.
Can someone transition to permanent residence through GTS LMIA?
A lot of Canadian companies are starting to utilize that in their employment agreements as a benefit package, that they will actually help the foreign worker to transition to permanent residency, which can be very competitive, because whenever you move your whole family to a brand new country and you are able to have that immigration support as a benefit, it appears very, very attractive.
Thank you very much again for coming to the studio and for your time, insights, and information about GTS LMIA. For those who enjoyed this show, this session, give a thumbs up if you find it very useful, and tell us what kind of subjects or topics you want us to discuss in our next session. Leave us your feedback, comments, and any suggestions. We will be happy to hear them and read them. Thank you again, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Cheers.